Shenanigans.
You mean shenanigans?
Shenanigans. Evil shenanigans.
Shenanigans, right?
Shenanigans.
Welcome back to Smooth Jazz Radio.
Keeping you up all night.
Your favorite smooth jazz from the 90s. There was great jazz music in the 90s.
Yeah, it made mainstream in the 90s, in fact. 90s music was fun.
There was a lot less argument about stupid shit.
Well,
Clinton.
Were we in war in the 90s? I don't think we had any wars. I mean, early 90s, I think we had a war, and then it was just like...
Storm.
Yeah, and there was just kind of a...
Wasn't that more like just like an infiltration or like
Operation Iraqi Freedom.
That was...
And then it turned into Operation Desert Storm. Yeah, and then...
Oh, yeah, Bush
Halliburton
Sr.,
made a whole bunch of money. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bush Sr. I don't know. I was born in 1990, like, so...
Oh, yeah, you're a war baby.
Yeah, sure.
A baby born of war, like Conan.
Like Conan.
Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, not the Conan show?
No. He was born of comedy.
He was born of comedy. Poor Ginger.
Right in the middle of Last Comic Standing. Oh, let me see my baby before I die. And they bring it up, and it's Conan. All long with red hair.
He still had the red hair.
You know.
Poor kid.
It's Conan, the comedian.
I never really watched much of his actual stand-up. I've only ever watched his show, which is...
Well, he did Talk Soup. That's where I think he started.
Really?
Did you ever seen that show? It was on E! And so they do like quick news quippets, like the beginning monologues of the show and stuff. And so he did that for a couple of years. And there's been a consistent dudes, and they're all like 6'5", 6'6". Every single one of them. They're huge, tall guys.
Big fucker. Huh?
Yeah, dude. Did you ever watch Blended?
Oh yeah, the movie.
The Blended.
Terry Crews.
Yeah, right. So the what's her face? The mom of the masturbating boy.
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore's ex-husband.
Mom of the masturbating boy.
He called him, that's the masturbator.
Yeah.
So, it was what came to mind first. But the dude, the ex-husband that doesn't do anything right,
Yeah.
he is like, what, 5 or 6,
Yeah,
6'6"?
he's a pretty tall guy.
He was also one of the guys on E!
Yeah, he was.
Talk
Yeah.
Soup.
Yeah, he was on... He did Parks and Recreation for a minute, too, I think,
A
right?
lot, but I just noticed all those dudes were freaking huge.
Yeah.
Just giant, super tall dudes.
Which is weird, because, like, Tom Cruise is, like, 5'4".
I know.
Like that. And, like,
Oh, if he's watching, don't...
he's like, you guys have to use lower camera angles as part of his contract and
Yeah,
stuff.
man, I don't know about all that. You can't talk about Tom Cruise. Him and the
Scientology.
Yeah, those dudes will show up and you know they can do things no one else can do, don't you?
You know, they believe in aliens, so maybe
True.
it's a good time to talk about it.
You know what?
So was Jesus an alien or a demigod? Can we talk about this? You guys would know, right?
And so seriously, what if he was? Then what? Right?
The story makes sense, at least.
It was at least that's what I said.
Yeah.
It's where science finally meets religion, you know. But I look back. My favorite stories though of history are of Thoth and all those guys. These were like the original people that taught the Egyptians how to do everything. And they got the noses that are like eagles and dogs and things like that. And I think Thoth was the bird. Anyways, he bestowed all this wisdom on people. Supposedly he's a interdimensional being, and he can go in between dimensions, and he talks to people in these different dimensions and gives them a bunch of secrets. And there's dudes that are still this day like in cahoots with Thoth. Yeah,
Thoth told me to do this.
Well, prove it wrong.
Again, I don't argue with people about religion just because there's no reason to. I believe in this, dude. People believe in
It's a magical
birds.
bird head guy. Who believes in that? Not my
Again,
magical
Scientology
Jesus.
believes that the volcanoes release the spirits of angry
bad
aliens.
spirits, yeah.
That's what makes us do bad things, and I'm like, you know what?
It's
Fuck it.
their
It could
fault.
be-
Here, take my money.
What
I
was
want to
it?
get rid of them.
What was it like? Family Guy or something like that, or whenever they die, and they're all like, "So which one was right?" Mormon.
Have fun. Yeah, I don't remember which one was that. I do remember. They got it closest.
Yeah, they got it the closest. Yeah, that's what I remember.
That was pretty good.
I would love it to be Thoth, the birdhead guy.
Thoth, man.
That's the homie. He
How
comes
could
here
you
all the
guys
time.
not have believed in that? I mean, we put them on walls from ancient Sumeria. We put them on walls in the Egyptian catacombs. Come on, man.
There's like the same pictures in the Aztecs in Mexico too, just
Yeah.
as there is in Egypt and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some consistency.
We put them on all the continents. You guys
So it's
found
either-
them.
So it's either the same drugs.
It's the same drugs, by the way, people.
They're all like, look, I've never seen this mushroom before. We're gonna try to
Man,
eat it.
when I tried it, I saw this bird face, dude. That was your cousin Gary.
That was scary.
Gary has a bird face?
Gary's
No.
got a big nose. And he's just,
No.
come here, big bird. What?
Gary just doesn't do drugs, man. That's all.
Gary's
He's trying to
just
help
sitting there
you.
like, man, we should build giant pyramids, man. He's just like,
But the bird said, man.
I also like the Aztec, the whole 2012 thing.
My
That was pretty-
favorite one.
That was hilarious, man. People panicking over that Y2K. That
Okay.
was great.
Okay, so me, Y2K. Ah! Also me, 2012. I'll buy your car from you for $1.
For $1. World's ending anyway.
They
so
got
that
me
was-
already. I already did my World's Coming to an End.
They already got me. It's funny because like it posted Facebook. It's like make sure you shut your computers off at midnight, 1999, blah blah blah, to avoid it getting damaged. And it's all like we believe this 20 years ago, folks. We're not that.
Come on.
we're not that advanced. And then
We're not that advanced.
and then I like the Aztec one. It shows the two Aztec guys, and there's all like, oh, I can only fit up to 2012 in the calendar. And the other guy's like, that's really gonna freak people out one day.
Probably the truth.
And I hope to God something along that context happened.
Dude, could you imagine going back all those years to Gary again, just hacking away? Hey, boss, what do you want me to do? So, I don't know. Just when it runs out, it's a spiral. Just run it out. It's got to run out sometime, right? People will understand it. Just starts right back over. Yeah, that's right.
Nobody's
Future people will be smart.
They'll figure this out that we just ran out of room. It's no problem.
It's the future people. They'll be so smart they'll understand it.
Yeah. Turns out, no. Turns out we were just completely like,
Future people,
we're gonna end. How did that?
we're all gonna die.
The both is all. The bird said it only lasted 2012.
You mean shenanigans?
Shenanigans. Evil shenanigans.
Shenanigans, right?
Shenanigans.